When we think of the action star, a martial artist that shows their toughness, well, you can't think of these attributes and not think of Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is a name that is synonymous with toughness, as well as martial arts and an almost mythical level of strength. Over the years, he has become a pop culture icon, known for his movies, TV shows, and of course, the never-ending stream of Chuck Norris jokes. But behind the larger-than-life persona is the real man, Carlos Ray Norris, a martial artist, actor, and former Air Force serviceman whose life is both fascinating and inspiring. Born on March 10, 1940 in Ryan, Oklahoma, Chuck Norris wasn't always the unstoppable force of nature we know today. He grew up in a poor family and his early years were tough. His father was an alcoholic and Chuck was often shy and reserved. By his own admission, he wasn't a particularly good student or even athlete growing up, but things would soon change. In 1958, at the age of 18, Norris enlisted in the US Air Force as an air policeman and was stationed in South Korea. This is where his life took a dramatic turn. It was in South Korea that Norris was first introduced to martial arts, specifically Tang Soo Do, a Korean martial art known for its emphasis on kicks. He began training intensely, and this sparked his lifelong passion for martial arts. Norris would go on to earn black belts in multiple disciplines including Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, and Karate. When he returned to the United States, Norris opened his own karate schools, teaching martial arts to a variety of students, including several Hollywood celebrities like Steve McQueen and Priscilla Presley. His martial arts career flourished, and by the late 1960s, he had become a dominant force in karate competitions. In 1968, Norris won the professional middleweight karate champion title, a title he held for 6 consecutive years, further solidifying his reputation as a top martial artist. Norris's entry into the world of acting came in an unusual way. In 1972, he made his film debut in Way of the Dragon, where he faced off against none other than Bruce Lee. Their iconic fight in the Colosseum in Rome remains one of the most famous martial arts sequences in film history. In the late 1970s and 1980s, Norris became a household name through a series of action films. Movies like Good Guys Wear Black in 1978, The Octagon in 1980, and Lone Wolf McQuade in 1983 cemented his status as a leading man in the action genre. But it was his work with the Cannon Group in the 1980s that truly elevated his career. Films like Missing in Action in 1984 and Code of Silence in 1985 were box office hits, and Norris became one of the most recognizable action stars of the decade. At the height of his film career, Norris became known for his portrayal of tough, unstoppable heroes, characters who reflected his own discipline and toughness as a martial artist. But as the 1990s approached, Norris took on a new role that would define his career for a new generation: Walker, Texas Ranger. Premiering in 1993, Walker, Texas Ranger ran for 8 seasons and 200 episodes, making it one of the most successful action series of the decade. Norris played Cordell Walker, a Texas Ranger with a strong sense of justice, who of course was highly skilled in martial arts. The show's combination of action, morality, and Norris's undeniable screen presence made it a huge hit. It also introduced a younger audience to Norris, and it remains one of the most famous roles to this day. But Chuck Norris's influence doesn't stop with films and television. Over the years, Norris became a cultural icon, not just for his roles, but also for his personal philosophy and beliefs. A devout Christian, Norris has often spoken about the importance of faith and family in his life. He's also been active in various charitable organisations, including his own, Kickstart Kids, which provides character education and martial arts training to middle school and high school students. In addition to his philanthropy, Norris has also dabbled in politics, publicly endorsing several Republican candidates over the years and speaking out on various social and political issues. But despite his serious beliefs, Norris has also embraced his status as a pop culture phenomenon, particularly through the Chuck Norris facts that took the internet by storm in the mid-2000s. The Chuck Norris facts were a series of humorous and often absurd statements about the toughness and ability of Chuck Norris. For example, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, he pushes the earth down. These jokes spread across the internet like wildfire, solidifying Norris as a meme long before memes were mainstream. Norris himself has taken the jokes in stride, recognizing their humor while continuing to stay focused on his real-life endeavors. But let's not forget his martial arts legacy. Norris holds black belts in multiple disciplines, a 10th degree black belt in Chun Kuk Do, an 8th degree black belt in Taekwondo, a 9th degree black belt in Tang Soo Do, and a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His contributions to martial arts go beyond just practicing. He's helped popularize it through his schools, his books, and his public appearances. Chuck Norris's legacy is multifaceted. He's a martial artist, an actor, a philanthropist, and a pop culture icon. From his humble beginnings in Oklahoma to becoming a global symbol of strength and resilience, Norris has lived a life that many only dream of. Whether you remember him as the fierce martial artist who fought Bruce Lee, the relentless action hero of the 1980s, or the iconic Texas Ranger who always saved the day, one thing is clear. Chuck Norris's influence spans generations, and his impact on martial arts, cinema, and pop culture is undeniable. And though the internet jokes might exaggerate his strength and invincibility just a little, the truth is, Chuck Norris's real accomplishments are just as impressive as the legend.